Hi, English 3050 Awesomes again. How we doing? In this video, I'm going to talk about writing instructions, and I want to pull out some things from our textbook here that I want to share with you. All right, let's see if I do this right. Yeah, Practical Strategies book. Okay. So I'm going to refer here again, just by way of friendly reminder, I'm on our breakdown of the WikiHow and instructions readings. I've gone through most of the links, right? The formatting we've done, writer's guide, graphics use, or how to insert a photo, right, or image. Um, and here I'm going to tease out some of the things that are very, very important. And I'm actually going to start down here with audience and purpose, page 402. So um, one of the things that our authors tell us is that we really need to kind of understand. So when you design a set of instructions, you need to consider a number of issues related to document design and page design. Okay. Now, here's the nice thing about the WikiHow, right? So if you look at the first bullet point at the bottom, there's this: what are your readers' expectations, right? So it's not like when you get you go to IKEA and you buy this thing that's in a very, very small box, and you get home and find out there's 2,700 pieces to it, right? Your expectations are, in that scenario, that you're going to get a set of instructions that's going to take you through to successful completion, right? From 1,100 to 2,700 pieces to a coffee table or whatever it is, right? Um, so IKEA's got a lot of work to do in their instructions. But anyway, I think by and large, with using the WikiHow, we've already kind of got the formatting's kind of already set up for us. So we some of the work, right, is taken a little bit off of our shoulders. We don't have to worry about, okay, how is it its representation. All the WikiHows are going to be are basically formatted the same. A lot of things we don't have to worry about, right? So the reader's expectation as far as how it looks, design wise, we don't have to worry about. We might think about our readers' abilities, and then it says, do not create more than one set of instructions for different audiences. We're going to really try to think as globally as possible. One of the writing guides and the formatting is for us to think about, okay, will someone be able to do this, perhaps around the globe? Obviously, there's certain limitations depending on what we're doing. But I think the most important part to kind of think about this is when it comes to thinking about our audience and our purpose. Did we is an audience will an audience be able to follow your instructions without having to add too much or to overcome any ambiguities in your writing instructions to achieve the purpose, right? So the purpose is that's already set first too. How to, right? How to what, right? You provide. But largely, this is a how-to thing. They're starting with kind of, I don't want to say an abstract idea, but with your title. And then by the time that they're done following your steps, they will have done something, created something, made something, right? All right. And then next, 408 and 409, I really, really like these particular pages too, because they start to tell us about some of the very, very specific things that we've kind of talked about that they kind of reiterate. And the first one is to present like the right amount of information each step. Now, WikiHow too also is kind of keeping us a little restricted too, to do that. Like make the first step, right? Then number two here is use the imperative mood, right? They say, remember on WikiHow, they say, okay, start with an action verb. We want every step to be an action, right? Something that someone will be able to do, right? So you start with that action verb. Think about it in imperative mood. At least in English, right? It's sit down. It's more of a directive. Not I don't want to say a command, but it's something very, very specific, very directive for someone to do, right? It's got action. So we'll obviously start ours with those action words: put, place, move, etc., right? And so number three is kind of interesting, not to confuse steps with feedback statements. So in this particular thing, we don't want to get muddled down um, in something that is considered. So a feedback statement might be something we would add into like the paragraph, right? So the step needs to be the step. The next step doesn't need to be reflecting back on, oh, in case you had da 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 happen in step two, or what if da da da. It needs to be very specific. If you feel that there's some feedback that needs to be given, that's where we would use bullet points, right? Obviously, we're going to include graphics. And the last and final thing that I really want to make sure you understand: don't omit A, and D, that are definite articles, especially when we're coming with writing instructions. A lot of times that level of specificity does help our audience interpret our steps. All right. All right. That's the highlights, guys. All right. Have a most wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon. Stay safe and stay awesome. Bye. Well, maybe.